Hi there, and welcome to an overview of the eDesigner product, enabling you to deliver services online for any device, which is crucial for the year 2014, where the number of users accessing the internet using mobile devices will exceed desktop devices. So what we're going to start off with is we're going to select to create a new form, and in this instance we're going to build a housing repairs form, one of the most common tasks taking place within the public sector today. So we're going to say that we want there to be a menu or a navigation bar, we want there to be a guidance notes page, we want there to be a tell us who you are so that we can collect all the person's data, and that there will be 2 pages specific to the content of this form. As soon as we create a form, the eDesigner generates a URL so that the user can access the actual base form. So if I click on the URL, you can see it's actually built a form specifically for housing repairs. The first thing I need to do is change the title of my form so that it mirrors what the form's intention is going to be. So with built-in content management, we can change or adapt the title or any content whenever we like. You'll notice that there's a scope option here, and that's so that if you wanted to change the title from page to page, then you can, but I don't want to, so I'm going to keep the title the same across all pages. Once we're finished, the change is instantly done, which means that whenever you need to make changes, you can do them as easily as you've seen there. I'm going to start a new form, so basically as you build the form, you are basically testing the form at the same time. To start off with, I'm going to copy and paste some guidance notes into the form, so you could take these directly from an existing PDF and paste them in. I'm also going to use some of the rich content management functionality to make some text bold and underlined, whilst also adding bullet points for ease of viewing. We can change the layout within here. Some of the functions that you can also provide within the content management functionality is the ability to add hyperlinks for the purposes of signposting. You can even add images to make the website more appealing, or the form more appealing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a context sensitive image which relates to housing repairs. So by selecting insert image from the toolbar, I insert the URL of the image that I want to upload. I'm going to say that I want it to be right aligned, and then as soon as I've done that, there's an image on the right hand side. I'm going to scale it down so it doesn't take up too much of the page, and then I'm going to save. But you'll see within no time at all, we've managed to make a housing repairs guidance notes page look very clear and crisp. So when I go to the next page, you'll see that there's validation against all of these fields within the tell us who you are page. So this is the option which we selected from the template when we built the form. We wanted to collect details about the person, so it's automatically got all of these fields present, and it's automatically got validation on things like date of birth, phone numbers, and national insurance number can also be added if you wanted to as well. Like all of our e-forms, you can save them for later, so even those that you build up, you've got that functionality built in. So now that I've got onto my first of the pages that I said that I needed to have, I can go into eDesigner mode and I can add some fields. You'll notice that there's a rich user interface and there's an entire selection of different fields to add, all with built-in validation. So email address, phone number, all of these things have got built-in validation. Likewise, numeric text field. I'm going to show you each of the different controls that can be added, and so I'll illustrate those as we go through. So the first thing to do is add the question text, and then we also need to add a short unique description which needs to have no spaces within it, and this will be used for the purposes of referencing in rules and things like that. So we can add some help text, and as soon as we add help text, that instantly gets put into a question mark which can slide out within the form. And by virtue of adding a mandatory warning, we're basically saying that the form is mandatory and must be completed. So once we've added that text, you can see here we've got a question mark beside the question. If we then click on that, we can see the text that we've just added. And if we try to proceed to the next page and hover over the error, you can see the text that we've just provided is now also viewable. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a section of questions, and that's because in the case of housing repairs, what we actually want to do is say how many things do you need to have repaired. So what we're going to do is add a repeating set of questions, and I'm going to show you how we do that. So I select repeating set of questions from the options, and then I put in the question text that we need to ask the citizen. So in this case, it's going to be how many repairs are required to take place. Again, we put in a short, unique description, some help text if applicable, a mandatory warning if the person must select one. Now, the title of the section is basically a header for each of the repeating areas. So in this case, we're just going to call it repair details. Once we've done that, you can see that there's now a nested element within inside the repair details. So it's like a sub-question to that actual section. When I do that, I'm actually now going to add a drop-down list. So basically going to show you how to add drop-down lists or checkbox lists at the same time. So the first thing I'm going to do is add the question as we normally do, add the short unique description, add some help text, and then I'm going to press create a new list. So by creating a new list, I'm going to create a list of options that can be present within a drop-down, and these are saved for future use. Once I've added the list, I press refresh and then press manage the items in the list, and then I can add options. To save time, I've added the options and saved them. But you can see that we've now added lots of different areas where potential repair could happen. Once we've done that, we press OK. And then that drop down with those options are now all present, along with the help text that I added. We're going to add a further drop down, and later in this video I'm actually going to show you how we're going to create a relationship between the two with business rules. So based upon the answer within one drop down, it will dictate whether the second drop down appears or not. So the second drop down I'm going to add is related to the first drop down being bathroom. So the things that could be repaired in this drop down are going to relate to areas of the bathroom that require repairing. And we're going to add a rule which basically means that once the person selects bathroom as the area of the issue, the second drop down with areas within the bathroom will appear. So we create a new list. Once we've created that new list, again we just need to refresh it and manage the items that are within the list. Again, for the sake of time, I'm going to skip doing this, but basically it's a case of adding the text, pressing save, and then adding the next one. So now we've added all of our different bathroom issues. We're going to OK that, and now you can see that there are two drop downs within the nested group of questions. The next thing I'm going to do is show you one of the really cool features, which is the ability to add an upload control. Because obviously a person may want to provide a picture of the repair that's required. So if their bath is damaged or their toilet needs fixed, then they can send a picture of this as a part of the process. Because these forms are designed for use on any device, a person could take a picture with their smartphone and upload it as a part of the online form process, ensuring that it's extremely user-friendly, and most importantly, the council or the public sector organisation gets the data that they want. So you can see there, by changing the number from 1 to 2, it increases the groups of questions, and we also now have an upload control. What I'm going to do is add some text above the upload control just to make it a little bit more user friendly. So within here we also have the means to add group sections of text. So you can choose from plain text or rich text, and again if you select rich text, that enables you to have a toolbar where you can make text bold, italics, add hyperlinks and so forth. And you can also add horizontal rules, as you can see I've just done there. So now we've done that, this page within the form is starting to look pretty good. So if we exit the designer, you can see that what we've done is added questions, we've added a group repeating question, we've added an upload control, and you can see that that's how the upload control works there. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to add some business rules to this. So there is extremely powerful rules within the application, and they're super simple to set up. What I'm going to do is make sure that where a person says that the area of the repair required is bathroom, that the specific drop down relating to different areas of the bathroom appears. So the first thing we do is we say this is the question that we want to base our rule on. So it's to do with the location. If the answer to that question is the option bathroom, then we want to show the question the second drop down within our list. So because the second question is now set to show that drop down only if bathroom is true, or else hide this question if it's not bathroom, what that means is that when the user actually goes into the form, it will only show the second drop down if the first one is bathroom, and you can see instantly it's hidden because it wasn't set to bathroom, but once it is, it's now available. So this business logic can be used to the nth degree throughout forms, making for highly powerful and easy to use and a reduction in user error within every online service that you provide. Obviously what we need to do is make sure that the form actually makes sense, so we're going to name the first page something specific to repair. And now once we've done that, we're able to move on to the next page. And in this case, I'm going to add a checklist as well as a radio button list. So first and foremost, we're going to just change the name of the page to appointment details. And then once we've done that, we're going to add our checkbox list and our radio button list so that you can see these controls in action as well. So with repairs, the person may need to provide the housing association or the council with dates or days where the person, would be free for the repairmen to come over and complete the work. So what we're doing is we're just adding some text first to let the citizen know that we need to know as much information as possible about when they may be in. And now that we've done that, we can add the checkbox list, which is basically going to ask the person which days of the week are the best for them, to be able to have the repair done. Obviously, with the checkbox list, that means that the user can select more than one day and is perfectly suited to this. So in this case, we created our list just the same way that we did for drop-downs, but you can see that it's totally different now in the sense that we can select multiple options from the checkbox list. We're now going to add a radio button list, and that's because we want there to be multiple options in the list, but we want them to only be able to select one. So in this instance, it's going to be what time of the day is best for the person to have their repair or appointment done. Once we've done that, we just add some text, we add a new list with appointment times in, and you can see that that is now showing down at the bottom there. So the citizen can now select the days that are best and the time that's most convenient for them. Because of the fact that all eDesigner forms have got the means to look at answers before the form is submitted, you can check to see everything that was provided in the online form, and then it can be submitted and the person has their reference just the same way that they would if it was a productized form. With all online services that get created, they instantly have an online service portal function. So you can see here, as soon as we've created our online form, there's now the means to search for cases that have been completed and cases that are in progress across development, test and live environments. So this is the case that we've just created. We can see when it started, when it was submitted, we can see the PDF of the form, we could email a citizen from here, and we can even see details like how long it took them, how long each page took to complete as well. But the really powerful thing about the eDesigner is as soon as the online form is created, it's instantly optimized for mobile devices. So you can see here on Windows Phone 8, it rescales the screen to mimic the size of the device, with the menu system sliding out, and all of the nice user experiences that you get on Windows Phone 8 for selecting options are present within the device. iPhone users get the same thing. The phone recognizes that eDesigner is capable of rendering on a mobile device and optimizes for that. If you're on a tablet, it does the exact same thing. eDesigner enables you to build online services quickly and easily that are instantly available for any device. Key in ensuring that online services accessibility is at its utmost in 2014.